Planet Zoo has been rated E10 Plus by the ESRB for crude humor, mild blood, and mild violence. It is generally suitable for people aged 10 years and up. From the turreted castle and Main Street to Monte Cristo Island and Kukwana Land, Bartholomew Zenon's Zenon Land is protected by the Night Sheriff. Day and night, he is burdened by a witch's curse to be aware of all that live and play within the massive fantasy theme park. Now an attack on the park by a monster hunter who knows far too much threatens everything, guests, staff, and fellow supernaturals taking refuge in the park. The Night Sheriff must scramble to uncover not only the source of the threat, but secrets of the park of which even he was not aware. If he doesn't, he may be doomed. The park may be doomed. Even the world may be doomed. And that's a lot of doom. Get your copy at Amazon.com today. Hey kids, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Emerald Deep Zoological Park. This is Planet Zoo at its finest. We're doing franchise mode. Now, something I should let you know. Is it going? Yeah, okay. The zoo is actually going. Something I need to tell you is that this episode and the last episode, the Pygmy Hippopotamus episode, were filmed about 2.5 weeks apart. Normally, I don't go a day without filming a Planet Zoo video, and I usually record a month ahead. Seriously. The Pygmy Hippo episode was filmed like 3 weeks ago and just came out today. Well, I was starting the recording of the follow-up episode when my computer died. And when I say died, I mean it shut down, would not turn back on. I was in the middle of recording, literally. And it turned out that my power supply had shorted and the connections between the plug and the power supply had shorted. It was all a big short out mess. Anyway, so it took a couple of weeks for the shop to get back to me with my PC, so I'm back, here I am, and now I'm like, okay, today's Thursday. I mean, well, technically it's Thursday morning, and by morning I mean it's a little bit past midnight on Thursday. And that's Thursday the 8th of September. And I need to have a video ready to drop at 9 a.m. on Friday the 9th. So I need to get working. So here's what here's where I am. Now, what my plan was in my first attempt to record this was I was going to put a restaurant right here. Right here. Now, I don't think this needs a speed build. It's not going to be that huge and untenable a build. It's just a single building. And so I don't think I need to speed build this. I can do it just live. And if I have a little extra time, do I have a timer? Hold on a second. Let me set up a timer. I know I'm already into the episode, but you know what? Heck with it. I might as well set up a timer. Let me see. Okay. Clock. Stopwatch. Go. There we go. So we're a couple minutes late. It doesn't matter. I just want to keep track of how long this build takes. So I've got that right there in front of me. Let's get started here. Now what I wanted to do was I wanted a kind of veranda style Mozambique plaster building with some decoration to it. And this is definitely going to be elegant, and if I do it right, I'm going to have canopies. And I think the canopies are going to work. So anyway, I'm going to place the basic building here, and then I'm going to go to town decorating it. So here we have our basic restaurant. Now what I need is a path to connect here, and that's all fine and good. But what we're going to do, excuse me, unfortunately, my mother has a bit of a cold, and I've got the sniffles. I've had the sniffles for a while, so, it happens. It happens. I don't want to blame her. She's not to blame, but, I don't think I would have gotten sick had she not had a cold. But again, I'm not blaming my mother. What do I want? Do I want this? You know what? I think I do. I'm gonna play with it though. I'm gonna play with it though. All right. It's either going to be plaster that I tint, or it's, you know what? Hold on. Let me try something else. Plank. What do we got? Metal plank, vertical wooden plank. Ooh, this is an option. No, that's not an option. You know what I want? I know what I want. Is this recolorable at all? No, it's not. Okay. I know the kind of thing I want. The thing is... Oh, wait. Hold on. How about this? And then I altered the... to the brown. Ooh, I like that. What do you think, guys? I like that. Or maybe even, you know what? No, we're going to try something different. We're going to assume this is painted. Let me look at this. Maybe a little darker than that. And hey, maybe this build is going to be longer than I thought, huh? Can I please have blue? You know what? No, I'm going to go with my first instinct and go with plaster. Is this building slightly taller than my walls? That's a little odd. All right. Now we'll bring this down here so it, gives the kitchen some cover, but not very much, to be honest. But it does cover up that. That's, pretty much precisely what I was looking for. Now I'm going to move this one over here. And then we'll just run the path. I mean, I'm just going to, blatantly, what do I want? I don't want that path, but let's see. Block path. You know what? It really doesn't matter because I'm going to cover the path. Okay. Yeah, let's just use the light asphalt. Oh, what the heck, right? Do me a favor. Let me know how the acoustics are because while my computer was in the shop, I took the time to rearrange my office and which is where I do all my recording. So I'm still trying to figure out how the acoustics are within the new arrangement of my of my office. You know, just making sure that it works well, basically. So if the sound is better, if the sound is worse, please let me know. Okay? I would appreciate the input. I really would. Let's go. Oh, come on. Let's go there. And let's put down a roof. What kind of roof? It's not going to be plaster, but I don't want it to be thatch either. Metal plank. There's palm thatch. Terracotta light. Let me look at this. Vertical wooden plank roof, 2-meter corner. Alright, what I want to know is, yes, I can. Okay, right. So what I want to do is I want to lighten it up to about that. Let me show you another. Like about that. I think that works a lot. I think that works pretty freaking well. You know, let's go with that. Okay, and where was it? It was this, right? Vertical plank 2. Yeah. And we will, whoops, round and round she goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Okay, and we'll just recolor the thing. Okay, and now I need the 2-meter tilt. Come on. And then a couple more corners. All right. Now, normally I would say do not put a roof on your building this early, but to be honest, there's not much left to do with that part of the build. Okay, I'm gonna put these things on the corners here, and come on, trees, give me some view. All right, come on, get up there. Yes, good, bravo. 4-meter, 2-meter, here we go. Okay, and is it really the, wait, did I put a 4-meter here? It's a 4-meter. That's not the right, no, okay, yes, we will delete these, and then we will use that's the 4-meter, we will use the 2-meter, because that's what we got the roof. You know, we set the roof to 2 meters. And I just like how it works when it's all balanced together without, I don't mind doing interesting things with the architecture of my buildings, but at the same time, I like for it to look good. Hope that makes sense. You know, if it doesn't look good to you, then don't bother with it. Start over. Do something else. You're allowed to change your mind. I found a new guy, by the way. He's relatively new to the game, and I say relatively because, he has been doing it for a little while, but not as long as I have, so, new. Anyway, he it was LJ Rosh TV. Yes, LJ Rosh TV. And anyway, I was watching this guy's videos, and I'm like, oh, he's good. He's real good. This is, he's got some great ideas here. And he does. I don't want, anybody to think that I'm pushing BS, because, the guy's a pretty good designer. Now, he's new. That's the thing. He is new. But you know what? That's not a crime. And a lot of his builds are kind of basic, but they are not basic. I used to speak English. Basic. They are, I'm just beginning to figure out what the game can do basic. Does that make any sense? I hope it really does. It's the basicness of having only spent, the 300-400 hours playing, as opposed to someone like me who, I'm well over 4,000 hours on this game. I don't want to say I don't have a life, but I don't have a life. Well, that's not true. My life is making videos for you guys. And I love doing this hobby. This is my hobby, guys. This is what I do for enjoyment. I'm retired. I've spoken before about how I was a chef for Disney, and I'm real proud of that. But I can't do it anymore because I'm not up to it. You would not believe how physically taxing those people. Let me tell you, there are people out there who I listen, and they're talking about burger flippers. Let's just use that line. And it's like, I don't understand how you can possibly justify paying a burger flipper $15 an hour. And I'm like, are you an idiot or just an asshole? Because for crying out loud, that work is hard. It's difficult. It's stressful. And it is not mindless. It is not something that just anybody can do. People think, well, yeah, I could be a burger flipper. Yeah, try it. You know what being a line cook means? It means having a precise sense of timing. It means being able to multitask. Not everybody can do it. I mean, sure, it's a basic job, and people don't think about the fact that it's a basic job. They just think, well, it's beneath me. Yeah, okay, fine, sir. But you know what? That burger flipper has skills that you don't. And if you don't believe me, if you don't think so, I challenge you to try. Go into an industrial kitchen. Go into a restaurant kitchen. Doesn't have to be a fancy restaurant. Go to a McDonald's and get a job at a McDonald's. And work at a McDonald's for a day. And if you're not dedicated to it, or desperate enough to try hard because you absolutely need the job no matter what, you're going to quit because it's too hard for you. Cooking professionally is not for sissies. So I hear these people and they're bad-mouthing the line cooks, they're bad-mouthing the burger flippers, the people who do this all day. And I'm like, don't talk to me about this. You have no idea how hard that job is. You should respect the people who make your food because they are worthy of respect. Because they are tough. They are Iron Men. And when I say men, I mean the ladies too, especially the women, because there's an aspect of strength in cooking. And I don't just mean determinism, determination and willpower. I'm talking about actual physical upper body strength. It's something that men have in abundance over women. Generally, on average, man, your average man is stronger than your average woman. Not in every case. I'm not trying to generalize. Well, yes, I am generalizing, but you know what I mean. I'm not trying to talk down to the women, but we all know that in general, when it comes to upper body strength, men are stronger, and that's precisely what I'm talking about. And so it's a tough job, and I applaud any guy who can carry it off, but I celebrate any woman who can carry it off. I have several female colleagues as chefs, and some of them went to school with me, and some of them went to other schools, and every single one of them was impressive. Let me tell you about one of them. I'm going to divert. This has nothing to do with the zoo. I'm just rambling to keep my voice going. But also, it's an important point. One of the people I worked with at Disney, her name was Jennifer Carl. And she was one of the more talented chefs I have ever worked with in my entire career. She was putting herself through medical school while working as a cook at Disney, because her ambition was to be a neurosurgeon. Well, let me tell you, Jack, she's a neurosurgeon now. She did that. She saved up enough, she worked long enough at Disney, and she saved up enough money, and she went to medical school in Maryland and is now Dr. Jennifer Carl. How cool is that? Respect the people that make your food. Even if they make a mistake, bring it up respectfully. Because you don't deserve to look down on these people just because you think they have a menial job that is beneath you. They feed people for a living, guys. They feed people for a living. How many of you guys can say you've had that kind of impact on somebody's life? And it is an impact. My Lord, it is an impact. Feeding people, watching, especially if it's a case of homelessness. Yeah, I know, I got a protester. If you're actually helping out homeless people, because I don't know if have you heard of John Bon Jovi's restaurant? He charges what you can afford, and if you're homeless, you eat for free. I love the people in the restaurant business. I love them. Anyway, the original point was don't look down on your burger flippers. Burger flippers have to be resistant to heat. They have to have willpower. They have to be able to stand on their legs for hours and hours and hours. They have to keep your order and dozens of other orders straight in their heads. You know what? I'm going to just do this. They have to keep, your order and their order straight in their heads. And they have to make sure that all of your food gets there on time, still hot so you can eat it. And that's a skill. I don't care what people say. Being able to do that, being able to make, being able to serve food on time so it all gets to the table at the same time and it's still warm and it still tastes good. That's a skill. So why do I think they're worth $15 an hour? Because they're enduring things and they're making things and they're getting it right and they're making sure you are happy. What have you done with your life today? I feed people for a living. One of my uncles, he's an engineer. And he was deriding me for being a chef. I didn't get along with this uncle, to be honest. He's passed on now. He got very sick and then died of COVID. And of course, he didn't believe in COVID. He was a Trump follower and all that number. And but an idiot, basically. For a man who was so intelligent and so educated, he was a moron. So anyway, he was deriding me. Well, you never amounted to anything. Of course I amounted to something. Of course I amounted to something. I was a chef. Well, yeah, it's not like you were, an engineer. Why would I want to be an engineer? But seriously, why would I want to be an engineer? And it's not like my chosen profession was, yes, I know, I have another protester. It wasn't like, my chosen profession came, it was without skill or without knowledge. Believe me, the things we are taught as chefs. Hold on. What am I doing? Stone, maybe? I know what I'm looking for. I just don't know where it is. That's not it. I'm looking for a base, but I can't figure out. Hold on, just let's do this. I think it's in the East Asia, but I may be wrong. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. I may be wasting time. How much? Speaking of, how long have we been doing this now? 21 minutes and 35. So this is going to be a longer video, just so you know. I may actually break it up into 2 videos, depending on how long it takes. Now let's do this. Okay. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I am looking for. I will know it when I see it. Okay. Yeah, if this goes to like 40 minutes or an hour, I'm going to break it up into 2 episodes. Because we are not doing the we're not doing the speed build with this. I'm having a good time talking to you while I'm doing this. What I'm looking for is a base stone. What is this? Conservation gutter. Okay. It's like a base stone. I know. Cladding. Okay. I know what I'm looking for. I just don't know where it is, and I can't remember the name of it. It is a stone that goes at the base of pillars. But where? What? I saw a sign, Helen. That's a line from a movie, by the way. It's a movie called Quick Change, which starred Bill Murray and Gina Davis. And it's a comedy. It's kind of a dark comedy, but I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, I'm going to find this thing if it kills me, and it just might. But if I can't find it, you know what? I'll use something else. I just think this would look good. But I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Doom-de-doom-de-doom. Doom-doom. We're getting radio, by the way, from the restaurant. It's fake commercials. Fake commercials from the restaurant for Gulpy and all that. Snow? No, not snow. All right, it's not going to be there. I swear to, I swear. Probably going to be the last thing on this list. Look, you know, watch. It's just going to be the last thing. We're getting into wood now. Yeah, I can't find it. Okay, so you know what? We're going to do something. We're going to do this. We're going to bring this in. Yeah. Oh, sure. All right, and then I'm just going to copy it so that it hits the floor. And I'm going to do that with the rest of them too. So, let's get this done. Let's get this done. Yay. Okay. Alrighty. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Figure it out. Okay. We're just going to bring this down just a little. Just there. Okay? Just to there. And let's put this here. I'm going to get this here, and then I'll do this. And what I want is one more. We're just going to move this to that. Close enough. Is that the center? Lined up? Yes, it is. So yes, and then I will just summarily execute this guy over here. Palamo, he's done. And then we're going to take this and rise him up. And now I have Rise Up from Hamilton in my head. It's funny how that works, isn't it? Okay. Okay. You know what? It would make it so easier if I just went ahead and connected it, but I'm not gonna. All right. So I got into a kind of a controversial discussion recently. It's about the upcoming movie, The Woman King. Now, I am a history buff, and I know the story that this movie's telling. And I can tell, that's redundant, I can see from the advertisement that the makers of the movie are stridently avoiding certain truths about this story. The Dahomey Empire, the tribe of which Viola Davis and John Boyega's characters belong, were one of the most vicious, aggressive, terroristic tribes in all of Africa. They are, in fact, the closest thing to actual Nazis ever produced in Africa. And I'm not using that term lightly. I mean every single, when I call them Nazis, it's because I mean to call them Nazis. They were horrible. They, honestly, they were horrible. They based their entire economy around the slave trade, for crying out loud. And in the movie, they are, they are portrayed as going to war to defend their culture, preserve freedom and defend their culture from the invading Europeans. Here's the thing, guys. Those Europeans that were invading to stop the slave trade. The Dahomey had literally based their entire economy on the slave trade and refused to give it up even after the Americans and the British abolished the trade and started taking military action against slavers. And believe me, the slave trade didn't end just because the Americans abolished it and the British abolished it and the French abolished it.